While superheroes like Batman and Superman wholeheartedly deserve the attention they receive, there are lesser known superheroes that deserve their own spotlight as well.
Look, Plastic Man, I think we need someone who takes this a little more seriously.
These superheroes aren't underrated just in terms of popularity, but people often underestimate how powerful they are. Welcome to the Rewind. Today, we're going to take a look at the top 10 most underrated superheroes of all time. Number 10, Nightwing.
Look, we can do this the easy way. Hard way it is then.
A superhero that many consider to be Justice League's most underrated leader, the popularity of Nightwing pales in comparison to that of Batman, despite being almost on par with him in regard to his skills. And let's not forget to mention the number of times he's managed to save the world. Nightwing might have been Bruce Wayne's sidekick at one point in time, so it's safe to say that he's undergone some serious character development. He went from being Batman's sidekick to an electric baton-wielding superhero with resilience like no other.
Jericho, you don't get to say his name. You're in there, buddy. Now's the time.
Number 9, Plastic Man. A superhero who doesn't hesitate to crack a joke here and there, Plastic Man is another underrated superhero who, thanks to his goofy side, people often underestimate. Saying that Plastic Man is extremely powerful would be the understatement of the century. Not only is he capable of stretching himself to no limits, but he's also pretty much immortal, as it's next to impossible to stop him from regenerating himself back together.
Apparently you saved many worlds. Oh, it was nothing.
Number 8, Darkhawk. When it comes to popularity, the fictional superhero Darkhawk might not be on the same level as Tony Stark. However, for dedicated fans of the comics, Darkhawk has been such a cult favorite ever since he was introduced in 1991, that his story would become an instant hit if it were to be made into a movie or TV series. Despite having a strong armor suit comparable to that of Tony Stark, when the name Darkhawk pops up, it's often met with a lack of recognition. It doesn't help that some of the comics where he makes an appearance are very hard to find. Number 7, Captain Marvel. You might be thinking, how could Captain Marvel possibly be underrated? After all, she's got a movie that's dedicated to her story. When it comes to her powers, it's not a secret that everyone knows what Captain Marvel is capable of. She's one of the strongest Avengers. Yet, when the Captain Marvel movie was released in 2019, the reception it received was lackluster, to put it mildly. Whether it's Brie Larson's acting or the bland origin story, many MCU fans were disheartened by the movie.
I've been fighting with one arm tied behind my back. But what happens when I'm finally set free?
Number 6, Matter Eater Lad.
We get the picture.
Matter Eater Lad is not a superhero you often hear or read about. However, he's extremely powerful, to the point that many people believe that he'd win in a battle against Superman. Matter Eater Lad's power is pretty much self-explanatory. This superhero can eat practically anything, and at an insanely fast speed. To put things into perspective at how powerful Matter Eater Lad is, he once consumed a large meteor in a matter of seconds like it was nothing. Number 5, Moon Knight.
And now, foul demon, face the vengeance of the Moon Knight.
Definitely not Santa.
A former mercenary, Mark Spector's world is transformed 180 degrees when he's betrayed by his employer, which almost costs him his life. Luckily, the Egyptian god Khonshu comes to save the day with a deal Mark can't refuse. He's given another chance at life in exchange for becoming Khonshu's avatar on Earth. you'll find that Moon Knight is described as Marvel's Batman. However, comic book author Charlie Huston stated that while Batman's motivation is his tragic past, Moon Knight's is completely different. He does what he does because he's simply the avatar of the Egyptian god of vengeance.
Are you seriously talking to the moon? As in, the cow jumped over?
There is more to the moon than childish stories.
Number 4. Aquaman.
Finish it. Yield the throne. Mercy is not our way. Maybe you haven't noticed, brother.
Just like Captain Marvel, Aquaman's popularity skyrocketed through the roof after the release of the 2018 movie starring Jason Momoa. Perhaps it's the way he's portrayed in the 1973 animated series, or simply the lack of knowledge about him, but people don't really realize the extent of Aquaman's powers.
Aquaman, king of the seven seas.
Number 3. DEADMAN.
I know I can be a bit of a downer, it's just I haven't had anything go my way in a while.
So why haven't you crossed over?
'Cause I ain't been invited.
When you think of superheroes, it's likely that you picture powers like invisibility, telekinesis, super speed, those types of supernatural powers. So it isn't that far of a stretch to say that no one would consider being dead an actual superpower, which is why DEADMAN is living, or more accurately, dead. Proof that death can also be a superpower. DEADMAN used to hold the title for being one of the world's greatest acrobats. However, his blooming career ended abruptly when he was murdered by an assassin. On the bright side though, he was granted the ability to possess any living being in order to find his killer. You'd think that this is a perfect story to create a ruthless villain who's always on the hunt for revenge. But DEADMAN actually uses his power to help people in the mortal world.
Yeah, okay. You have to eat them with a spoon. What am I doing in Africa?
Number 2. ICEMAN.
You never should have left.
ICEMAN, an Omega-level mutant, as in one of the strongest mutants in the universe, has superpowers that go far beyond shooting out ice. He's capable of lowering any temperature, freezing molecules of any being, and has the ability to survive as water vapor. However, he never seems too intent on using his powers to the fullest. Number 1. Squirrel Girl.
I think it can be if we just fight anime style! Huh, with excessively big weapons? No.
A list of the most underrated superheroes of all time isn't complete without mentioning Squirrel Girl. And if you don't believe that she's an underrated superhero, how many times have you heard about Squirrel Girl defeating Thanos? Or the long list of other powerful villains such as Galacticus, Ego the Living Planet, and Doctor Doom. It's true that Squirrel Girl doesn't look like she'd be able to hold her own against those villains, but don't let her appearance and furry squirrel tail fool you. Squirrel Girl is incredibly powerful and downright unbeatable.
Well, let's just say you get to find out what a pistachio feels like.
What do you think of our list? Before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Check out these other videos from the Rewind, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video again.